Hello there, Alan Miller, Sherlock. I want to talk about dog reactivity issues. Having problems walking my dog in public because he's overly reactive to other animals, cats, skateboarders, whatever it might be. First, I'm going to spend a couple of minutes every day in my backyard or wherever I am in a quiet place, getting him by using food to learn a couple simple behaviors. And I can't stop the problem without doing this first. One is heel or close to me. I don't care what you call it. In my world, I teach in French. It's au pied. Good. Second one is going to be attention or pay attention to me. Watch. Look. Good. And I'm going to mark the behavior with my voice. I like using my voice. And I'm going to feed them. This is done in a quiet environment. So remember, learning how to come back to heel and just learning what the word pay attention means or look, whatever you want to call it. Number three, as we get into having to correct or stop him from looking at this stuff, I need to start using dog training equipment. So, one of the things I go to first with most dogs, not all dogs, is a slip collar. They use this on every dog at every dog show that I've ever been involved in, and I've been doing this since 1981. So I'm going to put this onto the floating ring. It's going to make a lasso. I'm going to put it on the dog by using food. Again, just makes it easier. And I'm going to keep this collar up high by using a little keeper here. Now, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little bit more food because I want to do things as positively as I can, but I have to add different types of corrections to help them understand the bigger picture. I'm going to attach this to this. When I am presented with that situation of him not being appropriate, I like him to be close to me, even if I have to walk close to him in that circumstance. And I'm going to grab the leash as close as I can to the neck, and I'm going to start applying a little bit of pressure. When he looks away, I don't need him to look at me. When he looks away from the other dog or the distraction, I'm going to, good, yes, I can use food, but I don't have to. I was always taught to pet on the inside. Also, these collars are weight specific. If I have a much smaller dog, of course, it's going to be a little bit skinnier piece of leather. I like leather because it responds much more quickly to how I'm using the leash. It's just a personal preference. So when I see a distraction, I'm going to put him in a position close to me, and I'm simply going to tighten the leash until he looks away from that situation. And I can take it a step further. Sherlock assis, attention, and I'm going to ask him good to look at me in addition to looking away from this other whatever distraction it is, but I'm using this pressure to force him to look away. I've never heard a dog with this, and most working dogs are presented with this on a regular basis. Another thing I want to move on to talking about a little bit in regards to this is also using a head harness. I like head harnesses a lot, especially halty head harnesses because they allow me to close the mouth. But a lot of people have problems acclimating the dog to it. I almost always start with staying in the house, putting it on with food, clipping it on the dog's head, but I have to have a leash attached to it because as you're probably gathering, I'm using the leash to say, you got to leave it on. You can't take it off. So we're balancing interruption or correction with entitlement, which is food or praise or petting or whatever it is. So I like head harnesses. They make them for tiny dogs. They make them for gigantic dogs. This allows me to control the face of the dog a lot easier. If I'm not good at using these other types of collars, and a body harness sure isn't going to help you in this circumstance, I like using head harnesses. The guide dogs all start out on a head harness. Okay? I like using remote training equipment too. I know a lot of you don't understand it or are suspicious of it, but most people drive a car nowadays. I don't know of any of my friends that take a pony to work or they go on vacation in a stagecoach. So this is just technology. I find it to be a very useful way to just get the dog's attention off of something. I'm not using it to punish. I'm using it to teach the dog to pay attention to me. So if you acclimate a dog to this very slowly and use it with a long line, you can get your dog to be less dog reactive without saying commands, without yelling and screaming. And I'm going to go into more detail in this in an upcoming video. A lot of the products we demonstrate and use ourselves are linked in the description box below. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons. That way you will get notified when we post new content. Thanks for watching.